What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski, and welcome back to the Karsatowski Bowling YouTube channel. So in today's bowling breakdown, we have the 1990 PBA Fresno Open. So let's get on to the title match. Alright, the title match of the 1990 Fresno Open, featuring Joe Salvemini versus Hugh Miller. Alright, Joe Salvemini, left-hander. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Mike Albee, except that he has his ball way lower, but closer to his midsection. Starts off with a good strike.
Good start for Salvemini, playing the extreme outside line, and I've always seen that's an all or nothing shot, especially in the championship round. Either shoot 240 or 50.
Lefty versus lefty. We haven't seen this in a while. Oh, that almost carried the 9-pin. Whew. Well, not to be. That ball goes quite a bit light, never really gripped the lane. Stuff went for it, but stood still. Perfect cover on the 9-pin.
Sailboat accident with his dad, but he's happy to be in the final. He's sorry he's missing a cousin's wedding out on the ranch in Great Falls, Montana.
What's that logo? It almost looks like I don't know, like a grazing elephant or something like that. Brunswick logo. It's probably the crown, but it looks a little weird from this angle. Oh, such a good shot for ring 7. Yeesh. Yeah, I think Joe Miller's struggling with a little bit of ball reaction right now. Went real light in the first frame and a little bit of deflection the second frame. Alright, good cover on the 7-pin. A lot of slide, so his ball goes way light on that lane. Okay, looks like that lane might be a little bit more slick. He's starting way left. His ball is actually right over the left gutter at the start, and it gets to right about the 10 board, and that ball just sails, almost leaving the bucket. Good cover, though. He's a track guy. You don't see too many players throwing exclusively track equipment anymore. They're definitely among the top 11 or 12 best ball companies, really. Like the largest and main ones that pros have used over the last several decades. And this was in 1990, so pretty much all of this equipment is urethane. He gets a trip 6-pin. Good shot there. Yeah, pretty much all these bowling balls are urethane. Reactive would come out a year later, which obviously would go on to change the game like really no other piece of equipment has. Although urethane has made a resurgence over the last decade. And that ball goes high. Looks like he misses a little bit right.
I asked Hugh Miller what he felt his biggest improvement was over the years. He says, I'm a lot smarter.
Coup de hoop. That's how the French would say that.
About 19, 20, 21 tournaments. He's going almost 35 tournaments this year, and that really does make a difference. Keeps your tournament tough.
Good cover again. Well, looks like these players are really going to see who can stay clean. So it looks like that they're not going to really figure things out too much in this title match. Doesn't look like. So lot of players sitting on the approach, like a lot of them. A lot of times you'll see like one row of people and a bunch of bleachers, but they've got a bunch of chairs set out. Oh my goodness, that was a terrible break. That should have only left a 7-pin, not leaving a 5 with it. Look at this. That ball deflected so much. Yeah, that lane looks like it's pretty slick. These players are going to have a little bit of a difficult time getting their equipment to face up correctly. That is a very makeable spare, but honestly the margins for missing that probably aren't worth it to potentially miss both pins since everybody's so close. Alright. Alright, that ball just absolutely looked like it got kicked to the right, leaving the baby split. I wonder what a lot of these guys' parents think. I'm sure a lot of their parents were really good bowlers too, but I can't help to think that, oh, dadgum missed the split. Eeh. Oh well. Shake it off and move on. I mean, your opponent already left to split the frame before as well, so yeah, you missed a 2-pin, but go ahead and move on, I guess. This is going to be a tough scoring match. Both bowlers are in the 60s through 4 frames. Oh my goodness. That ball was a pretty good amount right, and it doesn't hook enough. Leaves double wood. Pick it up. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that ball is just skating 60 feet down the lane. Goodness sakes. Look at this. Skates right by it. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why double wood is so tough, because if your ball has any deflection on it whatsoever, then you're missing that back pin. Alright, so Hugh gets himself a nice strike. Alright, let's see if he can get his first double. If he gets his first double, he's going to really step on the gas here in this title match. Ooh, oh my goodness. Yeah, I think about the only thing that's going to stop him on that lane is that pesky 7-pin. But you know what? Hit your mark and go ahead and stay clean the rest of this game, and I think he might have a really good chance because his opponent just doesn't really have a good look right now. And Hugh definitely has the better look of the two, but again, really got to figure out that right lane more consistently and got to get his ball to finish better in the pocket on that left lane.
But this is for the title. Now, Femini with 77 through the 5th. Flicks frame.
Get it. Man. He's going to have to make a little bit of adjustment. He's going to have to move a little bit in. But I don't know how much further he can move in, because if he misses right, that ball's not coming back. And he is lost right now. Who knows what he's going to need to do. Get it. Okay, well, he didn't miss a 2-pin that time, which is good. Okay, yeah, after back-to-back open frames, he really needed a strike right there.
I went to work on some stretching and working out a little bit better, eating a little bit better, and knew I wasn't getting any younger. The ability was there, but it was frustrating. I just kept working hard and got myself back to 100%, and this week it all came together, and so I think it's my time.
He's got good knee bend, but his ball just does not have the carry today at all. I mean, he just doesn't have it today. And see, he doesn't have like half a dozen bowling balls to choose from, so he's probably only got a strike ball and a spare ball, and that's it probably. He might have another strike ball, but I don't know.
Now, Hugh Miller, 7th frame, spare working, leading by 8.
Okay, well that's a really good shot. So back-to-back strikes on that lane. If you get to double here at any point in time, then this match is basically over. Because Joe Salvamini just does not have a very good ball reaction. He hasn't struck since the 3rd frame, and it took Hugh 4 shots to find a strike, but he's been perfect on that right lane the last 2 shots. Not struck on this left lane yet until now. It's a light mixer, but you know what? At this point, you got to get him any way you can because these lanes look real tight.
Hugh Miller, as he goes to the wall, carries out the 3-5-6-10. As you see, Salvemini leading by 395 pins. He got off to an early start in the 18-game qualifier and took over from Bob Benoit halfway through the 24-game match play. Right now, he's in trouble, trailed by 18.
Get it. His pin carry is so terrible. Those are back-to-back shots that could have easily struck, and yet leaves 7 pin. Yeah, I think a different ball would have been the best fit for him because he hasn't made too many bad shots. It's just that he hasn't been getting the results that he should be getting.
Coming down the line here is tournament leader, a little bit confused, trailing by 19 pins, 9th frame. What goes through your mind? Well, I'll tell you what.
The only thing you can do at this point, though, is just stay clean the rest of the game and hope that Hugh ends up having a few not very good last few frames. But honestly, though, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Oh, that's flirting with a gutter right there. That's honestly probably what he should have done. Just get his ball to the dry spot on the lane and splits the 8 and 9 wide open. But honestly, that might be a little bit too little too late now. He's got to hope for a miracle from Hugh. And Hugh's ball is just being able to hold line. And again, that really is the only thing that's going to stop him at this point, is if he keeps leaving a bunch of solid 7 pins. If he were to miss this, Joe still has a really good chance to come back, but he ain't going to miss it. No. Well, they both have nailed their 7 pins. Alright, so Hugh Miller is up by 18. He really just needs the first strike in the 10th frame to shut out Joe Salvamini. So if he were to open, then Joe would still have a chance. Oh, again. Man, how many is that now? Is that 4? You know, he honestly really could have like 7 strikes in a row by now, if it wasn't for all those ringing 7 pins. Okay. Well, again, do what you need to do.
Miller strikes in this ball.
Keep it clean in the 10th frame and don't do anything too
The 10th and 11th frames and get an 8 counter.
dumb in the 10th frame. Don't try to, like, throw it completely straight with no hook and then end up missing it a bunch. You get 6 or 7. Again. Wow. I think that's 5 7-pins. My goodness. That is insane. I mean, he could have probably had like 8 or 9 strikes in a row that game if it wasn't for all those 7-pins. Okay. Now Joe Salvamini needs 2 strikes and 7 pins to win. Well, he found something out right there. Couldn't have picked a better time to figure it out, too. Yeah, if it wasn't for that ring 7 by Hugh in the first shot of the 10th frame, this match would have been over. But Joe has life. And he just extended it by 1 more frame with that strike. Alright, it looks like he's found the secret sauce out on the lane at this point. They're not showing the full lane, so I can't see exactly where his break point is going. Okay. Well, the 7-pin came back to bite him. Just like it did for Hugh. Hugh left like 5 of those, and Joe left like 3 or 4. So, wow. That was a tough match, though. Like, neither player throughout the majority of that match was locked in at all. But they both made the most of it, though, by picking up their 7-pins. So I will give them that. Alright, well, intense match. Well, very interesting match with 2 left-handed players at the 1990 Fresno Open. Well, if y'all have enjoyed that bowling breakdown and you don't want to miss any more, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any videos. So, I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content and I will see you in that next video. See ya.